In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you in part by Campbell Bonding Company.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
Amanda Bascom, 17-275, a drug case. Yes. Ma'am, I appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Let's see, I think you're appearing for an arraignment. So we'll
plead not guilty, Judge.
Her plea of not guilty. And you, when will her next date be?
December 1st.
December 1st at 9:30 for a pretrial. So you'll need to make an appointment to visit Mr. Hancock's office or him. This is case 17-225, alleged commercial burglary. Pre-trial on that. Come forward, sir.
Judge, I don't think there's any pretrial issues after visiting Mr. Canterbury, and the file indicates there's several cases pending against him in Missouri. I was going to talk to Mr. Bradford about those cases and how he wanted to handle those cases in light of this, and if we have something worked out, we would recall it in just a bit.
All right, I'll just leave it on the recall list.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dennis Kyler, we have.
Judge, if you could call him after the break.
Okay.
We should have a plea in that case, Your Honor.
Let's see. What was on Christopher Rampley? What was the deal? 17-73, alleged battery.
This is the case that we discussed in chambers with the court. I'd like to meet with the child victim in that case before we
That's correct.
make a final decision, Your Honor. But we should have something early next week, and we'll either know we're going to trial or we'll have a signed plea statement.
Okay, very good. You're free to go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have today, if I may be.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Jamie Rockholm, 17-276, theft of lease, rented, or entrusted personal property.
Your Honor, Mr. Rockholm is currently an inmate in the Missouri Department of Corrections, and he filed his notice of demand for disposition of his case under the interstate agreement on detainers.
Okay.
We had an officer go pick him up yesterday, I believe.
All right, so do we have a trial date? Or do we
Judge, he hasn't been arraigned on this yet.
Has not been arraigned.
No,
Do you
sir.
have a lawyer, sir?
Don't, Your Honor.
Okay, can you afford to hire a lawyer, or you can't? But for today, I'll have the Public Defender's Office represent you for purpose of arraignment. Does he enter a plea of not guilty to these?
He would, yes.
He
Judge.
says he does, okay. So we'll just need to schedule this out.
It's a Division 4.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, but we'll not schedule it out. I'll have you appear before Judge Webb, another judge who's handling your case, on October 20th, that's next week, or 2 weeks, I guess, at 8:30 a.m. And they'll schedule your case out. Thank you.
You're with him.
Okay, and this is case 17-56, and I think he's appearing for an arraignment. Is that correct, gentlemen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's correct.
Mr. Etheridge, how does he plead?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that he's mentally capable of understanding the arraignment, but I will on his behalf waive formal arraignment and enter a plea of not guilty at this time.
Very well. Very well. We'll send out let's see who's,
It's Division 4. Your Honor.
okay. I'll have him appear before Judge Webb. This is another judge's case, and he will be here October 20th. He has court in Harrison, October 20th at 8:30 a.m.
I can make that work, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Thank you.
State versus Larry Anderson, 17-191. Possession of controlled substance with purpose to deliver. Other charges.
Your Honor, in this case, we are still waiting on the crime lab report. Evidence was submitted to the crime lab on May 17th, and I checked the website on September 29th, and it was still in received status. So,
Very well. Stay in contact with your lawyers.
Yes, sir. Sure, thank you.
State versus Amanda Baskin, 17-275. Possession of controlled substances and paraphernalia. Some driving violations. And you have a lawyer.
No, I do not.
You intend to hire a lawyer?
I can afford one.
Okay. Have you made application to the Public Defender's Office yet?
No, I have not.
Okay. Just pick up an application. They'll give you one and fill it out, and I'll call your name later.
Okay.
State versus Lonnie Bryant, 17-137. Breaking or entering, theft of property. Anything to be done in this matter?
Judge, the only thing that I know of right now, I know he's set for the 16th. If we actually have a trial in this case, could we do it on, any objection to doing that on the 17th?
Well, if we can work it in, I don't care, but that's just, I don't know what to schedule.
we should have a better feel for where the cases are going to fall after the end of this docket, Your Honor. But
Okay.
assuming there's no problem with that, I would not have any objection. We issued our subpoenas for the 3-day trial period, so my witnesses should be available.
Okay. What day is the 17th?
So it's Tuesday, Judge.
Okay.
Our trial period is that Monday through Wednesday, 16th through the 18th.
Yeah, we can probably work it out.
Thank
Free to go, sir. State versus James Butler, 17-171. Domestic battery. Is there anything to be done in this matter?
No, sir.
Okay.
It's set for trial on the 17th also, Judge.
All right. Free to go, sir. State versus Matthew Cottle, 16-75, revocation hearing.
Are you in for the payment?
I've made a couple payments on it. I've got the last payment in my pocket. 61. That's the last one I owe them.
Judge, the last time we were here, Mr. Cottle was to make a payment to get his supervision fees caught up, I believe. He's made a couple of payments, and he indicates to me he has the last payment with him today. If he will make that payment, we can call him back up. I think we'll have this case resolved.
Okay, I'll recall your case.
My name is Deborah. I work at Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison. Not only do I work at the front desk, but I'm also a dental assistant. So I'm seeing you from the beginning, throughout the whole process, and even at the end of the process. We're happy to help in any way we possibly can, and I think that sets us apart from most offices. We don't just hustle you through here just to make a dollar. We're here for you, and we want to do the best we can for you.
Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Sam Alexander Pharmacy has expanded and is now offering many additional products and services. Their new pharmaceutical compounding area allows them to create products to fit the unique needs of a customer. They also have added Spinco orthotic shoes and sandals, Dr. Comfort diabetic shoes, baby gifts by Aiden and Anais, and toys by Melissa and Doug. Stop in today and let them help you with any of your specialty pharmaceutical needs. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, your local Health Mart pharmacy in Harrison.
State versus Shane Collins, 17-73. Possession of drugs and firearms, possession of controlled substances, paraphernalia, defaced firearm.
Collins. Your Honor, on October 2nd, I made contact with the crime lab in this case, spoke with Felicia Lackey in the drug section, advised her that we were set for trial period of October 16th through the 18th, and that we still needed a lab report. I did request what we commonly refer to as a rush on that testing. She said that she believed we would have a lab report by this Monday. At that time, I should be able to provide it to the defense, and then we'll see where we are.
Okay. Free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
State versus Jacob Cross, 17-177. Theft of property. Is there anything to be done today?
No, sir.
Okay.
Stand aside, Your Honor.
Yes. State versus Randall Botcher, 17-207. Possession of controlled substances, drug paraphernalia, criminal use of a prohibited weapon.
Your Honor, in this case, we're also still waiting on the lab report. Evidence was submitted to the crime lab on July 21st. As of September 29th, it was still in receive status, so not in progress yet.
Free to go, sir. State versus Amanda Henderson, 15-213. A revocation.
Your Honor, the court may recall that Ms. Henderson has been a resident of the Telestai House since July, and been working toward getting her treatment and getting her back in compliance. I discussed the case with her probation officer earlier this week, and officers willing to dismiss the petition to revoke, conditioned upon Ms. Henderson continuing with her classes and meetings at the Telestai House and graduating from that program, in which she's scheduled to do so in July of next year.
Is that right? Okay, very well. Dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Dennis Kyler, 17131. Failure to register as a sex offender. Registered offender living near a school or daycare.
Judge, I believe Mr. Gibson represents Mr.
Right.
McCullough.
Okay.
He was here earlier, Judge. Let's see if I can find out where he went.
I'll recall your case.
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me at the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
State versus Billy Allred, 17133. Drugs and firearms, possession of firearms for certain persons. Is this the one we're going to have a hearing on?
No, Your Honor. Back on September 22nd, the parties presented stipulated exhibits to the court involving the contact with the officer, with the defendant. We provided a copy of the officer's body cam and then the incident report.
I can't get the body cam to open, and it wouldn't be possible to just have to decide the case on stipulations. It's going to have to. It's a credibility issue. We're just going to have a hearing.
Okay.
We'll schedule that for October 27th.
Okay.
And I don't know how long the body cam is, but you just have to play it because I can't get that to open.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's tricky, Your Honor, but okay, October 27th, then we're going to have a hearing on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
15226, Garrett Angel. 16145, Garrett Angel, for revocation hearing. We need to transport him to the courthouse.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're going to transport you to the courthouse.
Thank you, sir.
State versus Randy Armstrong, 16317. It's a drug case, DWI also, other charges. So where are we at on this matter?
Your Honor, Ms. Armstrong was a fugitive. A warrant was issued on March the 30th. She was served on September 30th. I'm sorry, no, failure to appear was March the 3rd. The warrant was issued March 30th. She's been served with that warrant.
We just need to reschedule the matter. Oh, she not been arraigned yet? Okay. You have a law. You represent her.
No, sir.
Do you have a lawyer, ma'am?
No.
Are you
I
going
fill
to?
out the public defender.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
Judge, we picked up everything yesterday afternoon. I don't see her.
Okay. When did you turn it in, ma'am?
Monday.
Well,
Night shift.
they say they don't have it. Who did you give it to out there?
I put it in the window. One of the COs come and picked it up.
Judge, since she's in custody, if the court would allow us, we'll enter conditionally for the arraignment and then find the paperwork and submit it.
All right.
Plead not guilty.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty in your case, ma'am, and I'll schedule you to appear on October 27th at 9:30.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of trouble, let their family help your family. Campbell Bonding Company, 870-741-1138.
You know, we should always remember to have a working smoke detector where we sleep. Let's go, let's go. Okay, we're all safe, we're all safe. In an emergency, you need a meeting place outside the whole family can meet, so you know everyone is safe.
State versus Keisha Colette, 17-219. Battery.
Judge, a couple of things with Ms. Collette. One, there's extraordinary amount of discovery in this case, videos, things of that manner, and also some medical records, and we have a medical doctor, Dr. Farst, that is a doctor that's provided information from Children's Hospital. I think we're probably going to have to get an expert in this case also. We're asking for a continuance of the pretrial, and I think the trial's set in December. I don't know if we're going to need to continue that yet, but we'd like to put it on for the October 27th setting for a bond hearing.
Very well. State versus Jeffrey Gerard, 17-270. Burglary, criminal mischief, assault. Sir, did he fill out an application?
He did, Judge. May I approach?
Sir, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're appearing for an arraignment. How does he plead?
Not guilty, Judge. Waive reading of the information.
Okay, we'll enter a plea of not guilty. I'll schedule you to appear before Judge Webb on October 20th at 8:30. That'll be all today. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
State versus Justin Ritter, 17-268. Theft of property. You have a lawyer, sir?
I applied for a public defender yesterday.
Okay. I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're appearing for an arraignment. How does he plead?
Not guilty, Judge. Waive reading.
Okay. I'll have you appear before Judge Webb on October 20th at 8:30, sir. Thank you. State versus Roland Rogers, 17-274. Drug case. Sir, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're appearing for an arraignment.
Plead not guilty, Judge.
We'll enter a plea of not guilty. Your case is before Judge Webb. We'll have you reappear on October 20th at 8:30.
So, what about a bond reduction?
Well, what is your bond set at, sir?
I don't have no paperwork on my charges or anything, Your Honor.
Judge, bond's currently set at $2,500, according to the warrant.
Well, that's reasonable, considering the circumstances. I'll leave it at that. You can take it up to Judge Webb if you want further reduction.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. State versus Miguel Saldana, 17-5, trafficking controlled substances and other drug-related charges. Anything to be done in this?
Judge, we don't have any action to take at this time.
We'll just leave it as scheduled.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Mikey, I'm headed out to the jail.
Hey, is there any way of getting bond reduction?
Judge, what is his bond currently set at? I think that he's been on a parole revocation.
Is he still under a parole?
No, he's not, apparently. It doesn't look like he's in the county jail.
Well, why don't you talk to Mr. Bradford about that, and if y'all can reach some agreement, I'll take it up. Go ahead.
We've discussed it. He's not in agreement. I'll go speak with Mr. Saldana at the jail. We'll take that up another day.
If we need to.
Okay.
If I need to address it, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
He's coming out there, it sounds like, Mr. Saldana.
Judge, that's all right.
Thank you. State versus John Shoemaker, 17-213, 17-246, 17-269, 17-272, 17-273. Let's see, we have drugs, theft by receiving, drugs, forgery, theft of property. Looks like he needs to be arraigned.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll just do
Judge, he's filled out an affidavit, but it doesn't look like he's really completed it
Okay.
fully.
Well, I'm going to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent, I'll address these later, represent him today, and he's just here for arraignment. Does he enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I'll have him appear before Judge Webb on October 20th at 8:30.
Your Honor, there's only one in here that I'm waiting on it to where I can bond out, and I talked to the judge yesterday, told me to ask you if you could put a bond where I can bond out.
Okay, I'll let you take that up with Judge Webb when you see him. He's going to be presiding over your case.
So I have to wait till the 20th?
Well, unless you come and see him earlier than that, I guess it's the 20th.
Okay.
State versus Michael Smith, 16-235. It's a drug case, some driving violations alleged.
All right.
Let's see, we're here for a pretrial. Are there any pretrial issues?
No, Your Honor, there are.
Okay.
No pretrial.
We'll leave it as scheduled. That's all we can do today. Thank you, sir. State versus Nathan Worley, 17-241. Battery, assault, interference with emergency communications. Sir, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. Let's see. Has he been arraigned?
Judge? Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay, how does he plead?
Plead not guilty, Judge. Waive reading of
Okay, we'll enter the plea of not guilty. And if we haven't already, we'll send out a scheduling order. Anything else?
Not at this time, Judge.
Okay. You may stand aside, sir. Thank you.
Pre-trial will be
Your Honor.
December 15th.
Okay.
May I ask for a bond on that by any chance?
Okay, Miss, do you know why he wasn't here last time?
I don't, Judge.
I was on my way to court, Your Honor, and I ended up getting brought in on a third-degree assault on household.
On
The
a
same
what?
day. I was on my way to the courthouse that day.
Who arrested you?
Pace was the one that brought me into the jailhouse.
Okay, well, we'll have your lawyer look into that, and if we confirm you're in jail, I'll take that up.
All right, thank you, Jim.
All right. Leo Newmeyer, 17-114, breaking or entering.
Judge, looks like Mr. Nehemiah is here today for the purpose of reappearance. There are no issues to take up on behalf of the defense. Discovery's been provided. Looks like he was FTA the prior two court dates is the reason he is in custody.
Yes, Judge. He failed to appear on August 18th. The case already had a scheduled appearance of September 15th, and at that time the warrant was still outstanding. He was served with it on September 30th.
Do you know where he was at?
I don't, Your Honor.
I was in the hospital, Your Honor.
Okay, just get some proof of that, and I'll be happy to address it.
Does he have another date? I know that's before Friday.
Oh, is it? I'll just have him appear on October 20th, 8:30.
Leo, what hospital were you at?
Mercy in Fort Smith.
Judge, we'll look into it and see if we can.
Okay.
If we get that verified, I'll present it to Judge Webb before
right.
the 20th.
Very well. That's all we can do today, sir. Thank you. Thomas E. Smith, 16-168.
Sir, how you doing, Your Honor?
Pretty good. Possession of controlled substances and paraphernalia.
Judge, Mr. Smith is another case who is on Division 4. However, Mr. Smith, and I do have some verification of his dates of attendance, we'll say, in Louisiana, that would, in this case, Mr. Smith had bonded out on the original charge. He was then arrested and sent to Louisiana where he had to do some time, so he didn't make his subsequent court dates.
Okay.
But we can show that he was locked up at that point in time, and so he should be, the alias warrant is what's holding him, but we have proof that he was in the Louisiana Correctional Facility.
Won't you present that to Mr. Bradford? Maybe y'all can come to agreement on that. That's scheduling to appear before Judge Webb on the 20th at 8:30. October 20th.
Chris is
So that's going to be able to release me today, correct?
We'll visit with the state and visit with the judge, but I think it shouldn't be an issue.
Well, this was all sent out. Chris hadn't chimed in.
Can't guarantee you.
So can I, when's the next time I can come see you? Can I come see you today?
No, I mean, yeah, if you get out.
Okay.
I don't think today's going to work, though.
All right.
Just call the
Release me
office.
today, correct?
Call the public defender's office.
When I get out?
Correct.
All right.
That'll be all. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
State versus Lacey Loggins, 17-135. Possession with purpose to deliver controlled substances. When do you think we'll get to the prisoners? Before or after?
Judge, I was discussing that with Mr. Hancock. If there are no hearings with any of the inmates, we could probably go ahead and take care of them before lunch.
Very well.
Judge, in Lacey Loggins' case, evidence was submitted to the crime lab on August 16th. As of September 29th, it was still in receive status, so we're waiting on the lab report.
Stay in contact with your lawyer.
Thank you.
State versus Jacob Nelson, 17-163. Fleeing, leaving the scene of an accident, speeding, possession of controlled substances. Anything to be done in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Free to go, sir. State versus Miles Scott, 17-193. Drug case. Any pretrial matters?
Judge, I think this is going to be resolved.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, Your Honor. There's been a precedent submitted. May not have made it to the clerk's file yet, but the state can't successfully go forward in this case and is having an all price.
Very well. Free to go, sir.
Thank you.
Cassia Watt, 17-159. Drug case.
Yeah. You emailed it September 21st. Yeah. And she's the one that has that case pending in Carroll County.
There's nothing to be done today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Free to go. State versus Jimmy Wales, 17-256. Possession of drug paraphernalia. Come forward, sir. Do you have a lawyer?
No, sir.
You going to hire a lawyer?
Probably, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll schedule you to appear before Judge Webb on October 20th at 8:30 for arraignment and attorney status. Okay, ready to go. State versus Truman Rome, 17-227. Possession of drug paraphernalia and carrying a weapon.
There's nothing to be done today, Judge. We have discovered.
Okay, free to go.
Thanks, sir.
State versus Matthew Cottle, 16-75. We're scheduled for a revocation hearing.
Your Honor, the only outstanding issue that was still left in this matter was the payment of supervision fees to get those caught up. I've been advised that Mr. Cottle has now done so, and with that being the only issue to be resolved, the state will move to dismiss the revocation at this time.
Case dismissed.
Okay.
Join Sammy Klein Thursdays and Fridays during the TKO8 local newscast for this week's closing livestock market report, made possible by Quality Feed Grains of Harrison and Bellefonte. Quality Feed Grains has you covered. Everything for cattle, pets, deer, equine, poultry, seed and spray, show feed, and garden. Check their website, qualityfeedgrains.com, now for this month's special. Quality Feed Grains of Harrison and Bellefonte, proud sponsors of the Livestock Report with Sammy Klein on Harrison's broadcast station TKO Channel 8.
Summer is here, and Sisters Flower and Gift Shop has recently received a large selection of new and unique items, from colorful tableware, centerpieces, wall decor, home accent, Razorback products, and a baby department with clothes and accessories. Sisters has the perfect gift for any occasion. For the future bride and groom, Sisters offers a complete bridal registry. Birthday, wedding, anniversary, or just because. Sisters has something for everyone. Sisters Flower and Gift Shop. We are so much more than flowers. When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of a community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There is one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a crucial commitment to their community because just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison has a Health Mart now. Sam Alexander Pharmacy, on the square in downtown Harrison. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Moving on to 2016-336, State of Arkansas versus Jennifer Carbonero.
Good, she's made application to the Public Defender's Office. Approach.
All right. Okay, so we've cleared the Showalter law firm from representing her. There's no indication any longer that.
No, Your Honor, and in fact, in talking to them, it's true that the female attorney that she's talking about does represent her in Washington County, but absolutely denies that they represent her here. Mr. Showalter has a pending motion to withdraw from her case in Stone County. I talked to Tom Gardner, who's the prosecutor over there, and they are offering her 6 years in Department of Corrections followed by a 6-year suspended imposition of sentence. So that update, and I think she has to appear there on October 5th. She is currently on our jury trial schedule, and I believe that she is 6th out.
And Judge, obviously we just got appointed today. I can't try it next week, so I asked that we reset her trial to the November term. Doesn't look like it's that complicated enough of a case. If it is, I'll ask for more time, but we'll see if we can't get her resolved.
Okay, noting that the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent her because of the very recent appointment, the court is continuing the trial date off the October 2nd week, and I reflect a continuance at defense request, so it'll be an excluded period. I'm continuing it until the November 6th, which is the week of November 6th. So, Ms. Carbonero, you understand that the public defender, Mr. Gibson, is being appointed to represent you, and your case is being moved off. It was originally scheduled for trial next week. It's now being moved to the week of November 6th.
Yes.
Right.
I know. I was going to see if I can get a bond. I have court in Washington County on the 18th and in Sharp County on the 20th.
Judge, since I've talked to Tom Garner's office, they're making arrangements to have her brought over to court.
Okay. Is there a bond set in this case?
Judge, I believe there was an alias warrant, and that's how she came to be where she's at today.
And Judge, since these charges arose, obviously she's picked up charges in Stone County and charges in Washington County.
Stone or Sharp, or are these all?
Sharp County.
Okay. Well, Tom Garner's the one prosecuting her, so whichever county it is.
Okay. All right, well, the court at this point is not going to grant it's not going to set a bond. Well, let me make sure what I've done in the past before
On September 1st, court said no bond.
Okay. Originally, in this case, back in 2016, I set a bond of $15,000, or one was set, that she made.
Mm-hmm. And my bondsman said he'd stay on my original bond if need be.
Yeah, well, facts have changed considerably since then, including the fact that you have multiple additional charges. I'm just seeing if I've set any other bond. Alias warrant in August, and that's what bond forfeiture hearing scheduled. Court at this point is going to leave it as set without bond, subject to her reappearing on November 6th, and we'll take up the issue of that perhaps after some of these other counties have had an opportunity to review their status. So, court's willing to review her bond status on November 6th, but for now I'm leaving it without bond based on the alias warrant that she was picked up on.
Judge, could we ever set for an appearance for a plea deadline on November 3rd?
Yes, I'm sorry. I meant to do that already. She's to reappear on November 3rd. That's actually when the bond will be returnable. All right. Ms. Carbonaro, you may be excused.
Thank you.
2017-146, State of Arkansas versus Frederick Holmes.
Judge, I believe Mr. Holmes is on the docket based on his failure to appear on the September 15th date.
Judge, I don't know if it's been served on him, but he also has a new Class D felony for possession of drug paraphernalia.
I showed there's a scheduling order on Mr. Holmes that has him for trial on January 2nd of 2018. Plea offer, a plea acceptance or rejection date of November 3rd. A pretrial date of October 20th. All of those, the scheduling order was entered back in June, and those are the dates for future appearances on that scheduling order. And then the alias warrant was issued for his failure to appear on September 1st, which was his basic reappearance date to check on the status of the case. He's currently incarcerated. The warrant that was issued, the alias warrant was served on September 23rd, and that's why he is currently incarcerated. Just so there's no confusion, on the returned warrant, it lists a court appearance date of October 27th. I'm canceling that and informing Mr. Holmes that if he were to be released at this point, his next appearance will be October 20th in front of this court. The Public Defender's Office is representing him?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. I'm noting that fact. His current status is he's being held no bond.
Correct, Your Honor. I was going to ask if we could address bond.
All right.
I was going to assume that there was a no bond based on the failure to appear. My notes reflect that on 9/1, Mr. Holmes didn't show up, but then came to our office. We told him to come on 9/8. I believe that was a Judge Putman day to see if the warrant would be removed, and I don't believe he showed up on that date, or if he did, he was given 9/15 and didn't show up again. I think part of that issue may have been when we sent him the scheduling order. If he missed that 9/1 date on the scheduling order, then he wasn't going to reappear again until 10/20. Mr. Holmes, do you have a reason you weren't in court on the 1st or the 8th?
Well, when they give me the schedule me to come back in that Friday, I got the paper in the mail saying I think it was the 20th or the 27th. And I was going off the paper on the 27th, and so I didn't show up for that court, and I was going to come in for the next court date because I think it was due to see Best Webb there. So that's why I was going off of them. They picked me up and brought me in.
And Judge, we may have orally told him something, then he got a letter from our office giving him a different court date. It sounds like it's what's happened.
Well, I don't think the October 27th date doesn't appear in any of these documents until he was actually served with his warrant, and that was on September 25th, or that's the date the warrant was returned. He was served on the 23rd, I think it was. I said so. I mean, that has nothing to do with his failure to appear. According to what I can read here in the record, he may have misunderstood that he was supposed to appear on October 20th, but that was a date he was given to appear. At the same time, he was given the date to appear on September 1st. So I don't understand the misunderstanding. He was told to appear on September 1st and didn't do it. So,
Judge, I think what happened is it looks like we gave him his scheduling order on September the 8th, before Judge Putman. We gave him a copy of his scheduling order, and Judge Putman may have removed or withdrawn that warrant because he missed 9/1 was when the alias was issued that caused the problem, and then he showed up on 9/5 at our office saying he had missed his court date. We told him to show up at 9/8. On 9/8, he showed up in front of Judge Putman, and our notes show that we gave him his scheduling order on 9/8 in court to show up, which the next date would have been October the 20th.
There's nothing in the record of this court that shows he appeared on September 8th. I guess I won't, if your records indicate that, then well and good, but somehow that should have gotten translated. But it's not.
And Judge, our note is just a handwritten on the bottom of a copy of the criminal scheduling order. It says copy given in court 9/8/17. So
Judge, on 9/8 he did appear. He applied to the public defender's office at that time, and Judge Putman told him to show up on 9/15. Okay,
so your records indicate he was told to appear on 9/15.
Right.
I had in my handwritten ledger 9/15 alias issued, but what we would have gave him in 9/8 when he left court would have said come back on 10/20.
Yeah, but when the judge says 9:15, it's 9:15.
Well,
And Judge, now digging all the way through, I have a handwritten note, our court date confirmation that told him to be here on 9:15 as well. So we gave him his scheduling order and also gave him a court date confirmation to appear on 9:15.
so I guess Mr. Holmes, my question to you is why didn't you appear in front of me on 9:15, on September 15th?
That was the thing that when he gave me the paper, I was thinking he was saying, I believe with the 20th was my next date. Well, after he told me that they gave me the paper saying the 15th or whatever, they sent the paper.
All right. Well, Mr. Holmes, I would think that when you're, this isn't your first time through the system. I'm well aware of that. And I would think you would understand that when you're given a date, if there's some confusion about the date, I would think you'd be smart enough to understand that you show up on the earliest date to make sure you don't miss a date, because you knew what the consequence of missing a date was. That is, a warrant issued and you got put in jail. So, I'm just having a hard time understanding how you could have been quite so confused. But in any case, I'm going to set a bond. The previous bond, let's see.
Judge, now, the court needs to be aware, when we picked him up on September 23rd, he had drug paraphernalia on his person.
Okay.
No drugs that we found.
Has that been charged?
It has been charged. I don't think the file itself has been set up, and he's probably not been served a warrant, because it's only been 5 days.
Was it charged as a felony or
Charged as a felony, Class D.
Okay. The original bond, according to this, was $10,000. If his bondsman is willing to stay on that, I'm willing to set his original and put it in place his $10,000 bond. He either makes a new bond for $10,000 if his bondsman isn't willing to stay on it, or if his bondsman is willing to do it, he's bonding out. And Mr. Holmes, so it's absolutely clear, October 20th is your next time to appear in court, and you need to be here. You're already set for trial in January of 2018, the week of January 2nd, and you have another date to appear on November 13th. But I don't want to confuse you with that. October 20th is the next time you need to be in court if you make that bond. So that's your status.
Judge, does that cover the new upcoming case or just this case?
I'm not going to cover.
I think the bond in the other one, the state said, should be about $1,500, $2,500, so that we'll let it sit on its own as it.
We'll deal with that when it gets here, I guess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you may be excused.
In Court on TKO8 Television is brought to you in part by Campbell Bonding Company.
Even the best of us make mistakes, so when trouble finds you, trust Campbell Bonding Company to help you through what can be a confusing and sometimes frightening experience. Jim, Robert, and Cole Campbell work as a family to offer your family understanding and compassion during a very difficult time. Campbell Bonding Company can help get your family back together quickly and confidentially. And in every step of the process, they're there for you. In times of